Hello, what's up? So for today's video, I wanted to share just kind of my thought process and some ideas behind, what I want to do for my survival world, because I have a lot of cool ideas, but I never really share my thoughts, and I don't really ask for feedback all that much. Well, I do, but I don't get much. But, I want to ask for feedback, and I also want a little bit of advice, because I do have some concerns, but basically, I need a storage system because mine is an absolute disaster right now, and I had some really cool ideas. I've talked about how I really love Art Deco as an architecture style, but I don't know if I've really mentioned it, but I absolutely love cathedrals. For me, if I can combine elements of Art Deco with elements of cathedrals, then I absolutely will. So when it comes to cathedral kind of features, when you think like, okay, what makes a Gothic cathedral compared to other styles, is there's a couple of features, and one of them, and the ones that I like the most, are definitely the Gothic arch. Like, that's iconic, that's absolutely necessary, and also the ribbed vaults. So for my storage system, I decided, okay, I need to figure out how to make a ribbed vault, and I was trying to make the design and it really wasn't working out. And so in the end, I did have to, I gave in and I had to look up how you make one. Basically, this is how you make a ribbed vault ceiling, like a vault ceiling, basically, in the Gothic style. That's probably the closest you're gonna get in Minecraft. And there's different, what I had gotten wrong over there is the column size, because columns can't just be a single pillar. It has to be a little pillar, like that. That's the shape that you need. And so, the tutorial I found had done only kind of made it one wide, I guess you could say, because here you would have another one to kind of repeat this, because you need it to be at least two here so that you can create this middle row, which is what I had gotten wrong in mine. And so, with this, if you add another, pillar here, obviously you can repeat this, this idea right here and go up like that. And so you can repeat and you can make as many as you want. So for me, I decided I didn't want to just make it one wide. I wanted to make it at least 2 or 3 wide. And when I say 1 or 2 wide, I mean, like, this is 1 wide. This is what I would call 2 wide. 3 wide, 4 wide, and 5 wide. And so just to give you kind of a sense of scale, this is what a 3 wide would look like, for me. Obviously you see that there's differences here and there. But, I was trying to incorporate here some kind of Art Deco elements, because they have kind of these like little wing structures. I don't know what to call them. But like this kind of layering. But also, obviously, the Gothic look. Also, check out the skull. I think that looks so dope. But anyways, and like this, for example, is a 5 wide, which is way too big. I don't have that kind of ability. So right now, I think, just in general, I'm going to be focusing on 2 wides. And I want to talk about 2 instances in which I want to use them in my world. I want to make a lush cave base, right? And so what I've decided is I think it looks super cool, because you know how there's pillars that naturally generate? Imagine this. You have deep slate, right? Maybe even a little bit of deep dark, which then turns into cobble, which is man-made, and then turns into these, the bricks, maybe even some cracked bricks. And then it moves up and it becomes basalt, and then it turns into, stone. And honestly, Mojang, just hear me out. We need just one more shade between these two, because it's a little bit jarring and I don't know what other blocks to put. But anyways, so moving up, you go up, and then it turns slowly into lush cave and moss and then dripstone. And then you end up with this super cool look. And I think that this is the scale that I wanted at, which is massive. And I don't know. I don't know if I don't think realistically I can make it that big right now. I don't know, but this is kind of the idea I have looking for, so I'm thinking about. moving on to the whole storage system thing that I want to do. So I was thinking, okay, obviously I want to do some kind of cathedral look to it. I've been planning this for quite a long time, designing it for quite a long time. So I had this kind of idea, lots of brainstorming. And I think it'd be, you know, I was thinking like, okay, do I just make it 1? Do I make it 2 and do my silo thing idea? And I've decided that I want to do this kind of silo idea. And so at first I came up with this, which it's not complete, but this is way too big. Like, can you imagine just trying to run down a hallway, trying to find multiple of the, like, there's so much space to run. I can't do that. I can't do that to myself. This is too much. And this is a 3 wide. So I thought, okay, what if I do a 2 wide? And I came up with this idea, which I think is doable. I mean, it'd be difficult, but obviously it'd be time consuming, but you know, it's doable. Also, check this out. This kind of floor pattern here and here. So the idea is, I would have these kind of, you'd have this long hallway, and then you would have these kind of wings, right? And so you'd have, like, here would be different, this would be like the wood wing, for example. And I was thinking of on the ceiling to put these, you know, to make each wing either, I don't know if I should make the ceiling consistent, like over here, or if I should do, like, put the blocks that are in here. So like the wood wing, like the ceiling of this wing would be made out of wood blocks, and then for the stone and stone variant, it'd be made out of stone and granite and diorite, etc. It would be like kind of themed, so that when you're running through your thing, you can just kind of take a glance and you can guess, and then maybe even have some kind of design here. I have no idea. Now the problem is that with the redstone, you would have to, you can put them like back to back, but you can't squish them right side by side, because ideally, obviously, I would have them squished side by side with no spaces between them. But you can't really do that with the redstone. And so then I figured, okay, well, I'll have them back to back, and then I'll have this kind of little hallway in between. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do with this hallway in between? I mean, I could just block it off or put a painting or something, but I thought, let's be efficient with our space. What if we made a little mini hallway between it? And here you would have, this would not be automated in any way, shape, or form. This would be like, for example, say this was like the stone area, like say that was the, say this was actually the stone wing, then I would have, you know, things like stairs or, you know, slabs, whatever, just like extra blocks. And I think this looks really cool, and I think I've actually done a pretty decent job here, just because if you remove this, see, you have the redstone back here, because when it comes to the, like, the design, you know, I show, again, I've already showed it in another video, but you know, you have your hopper, like the hopper thingy for the redstone, like it goes over like that. But when it comes to the item sorter, the sorter only goes up so high. Like, it doesn't take up all of this red space. This red space, by the way, is the area needed for the redstone. Like, you have a good section, a good couple of blocks up high that, you know, this is kind of free. You have room for it, and you can see this here, you know, again, it only goes so high up. And let's put this back. And so, you know, you could totally, I don't know, you could put in between, like here, there's redstone right there. So you can't put anything else, you can't make it a slab or whatever. But for this area in between, you don't, you know, you can have space, and you can put chests kind of in between those spaces. And I think that'd be like a really smart way to go about it. And then here again, you would have same as, you know, that section, and then so then you'd have it kind of repeat like that. and again have different themed wings. And so that's kind of my idea. And also it would be, you know, I said this would be a sorting system, obviously. It would be an automatic sorting system. And so what I would do, I think, is I would have kind of like a, I don't know, like a popper or something, like a chest where I could put my items in, and then it would filter through the system. And so the idea is you have all of these wings, and then say it goes up through the water column, and then it passes over here, it goes behind. Oh yeah, and these are extra, by the way. These would just be extra little chests. Again, not automated in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, so basically you'd have the water stream going behind, wrapping around there, going here, and then going down here and falling into a hopper. And because, you know, this would be pretty big, and so I'd be really, really concerned that I would basically, like, I don't know, like the items would despawn depending on how fast it is. Like it's very likely that, you know, if you imagine it going over and over again through this whole system, it is incredibly likely that the items will despawn on the way there. And it's like trying to make its way to the very end. And so my idea would be to have the dropper system that I had shown in my little mini tutorial video. It would drop down there, and then, you know, it would go through this dropper, and it would shoot the items out one at a time so that they're not despawning anymore, shoot up the water column again, and then make its journey down the next row. A problem that I'm really concerned about, and that I need a little bit of advice on, is will having all of this redstone lag my base? Because sure, it wouldn't be active most of the time, in the sense that, like, I wouldn't have items flowing through here constantly, but would having all of this redstone, which would be active in the sense that, like, it has items in it for the sorting part, would that lag my base out? Like, could I put it right underneath my house, or is that too risky? Something that I completely forgot to mention is that one of the things that I like about this design is that if you have a lot of stuff, like for example, one of these would just be regular stone, and then you'd have cobblestone. Well, I have a ton of stone and cobblestone, and what I really like about this design is that in theory, if you have just too many blocks, you could very, very easily just create more hoppers and put them below. Like, you could put them like that, and then create a cool, like, I don't know, I was thinking almost like a catacomb vibe, if that makes sense. You could go like that, put it like that, and then just totally cover this up, like that, and boom, you could totally cover it up, and then maybe have kind of an entrance somewhere that you go underneath this floor, and it would probably be like black stone. It would be like super dark and you know, just spooky a little bit maybe. You can go as far down as you want to store as much as you want, but yeah, the point would be that you could just keep going, and then you could have this layer underneath that's just all of these extra. So yeah, I totally forgot to mention that, but that's kind of a benefit of having this design, is that you can totally fill it up and go even lower. You can let me know what you think, if you like the idea, if you think it's a cool idea. Big undertaking. I keep taking on these huge projects, and I'm gonna do some smaller projects, but like, I don't know. Is it worth it? Would this look interesting? Is it gonna lag out my base, or should I totally abandon that idea and just build it away from my base, like close nearby, but like slightly out of where it would be loading in? So I would think maybe put it back like down there, but ideally I would really love to be able to just kind of like have a door here that goes down, like you'd fall down into this huge storage system. I don't know, I'd really love it to be like directly under my house, but again, I'm so so concerned about lag because my computer's not the strongest thing. So yeah, let me know what you think. Peace.